Hi, this is Vadim from Online Training for Everyone, and in this video I'm excited to share with you 10 questions specifically designed to help you prepare for Amazon Mechatronics and Robotics assessment test. This test evaluates critical skills such as pattern recognition, logical thinking, spatial reasoning, numerical analysis, and problem solving, key abilities to excelling on the job. By practicing these questions, you'll boost your confidence, sharpen your technical and cognitive skills, and be better prepared to tackle the assessment with success. Stay focused, attempt all 10 questions yourself, and refine the essential skills needed to excel in this test. Enjoy the process, stay motivated, and get ready to approach the test with confidence and determination. Let's dive in and get started. Here's a very cool problem which is designed to boost your cognitive skills. You're presented with 5 numbers: 2, 4, 8, 12, and 16. And you need to determine which number doesn't belong. To help you give it your best effort, let's set a goal. Your goal is to fully understand the question and lock in your answer before time runs out. Once you're ready, we'll reconnect on the other side and review it together. Let's get started. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? I hope so, because the solution here is very, very simple. You typically solve these types of problems in 2 steps. In step number 1, you look for patterns in the numbers. And in step 2, you identify the number which breaks the pattern. Let's first examine the sequence for common mathematical patterns. What are those? Multiplication, consistent increases, or powers. If we think it's multiplication, we need to multiply it by 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. So far so good, right? But it breaks here. 8 multiplied by 2 would be 16, which might be a solution since number 12 doesn't belong, right? And the correct answer would be choice D. But I thought of this a little differently. I thought of it as powers of 2. 2 in power of 1 equal 2, which is the first number. 2 in power of 2 is 4. 2 in power of 3 is 8. And 2 in power of 4 is 16, which also leads us to the answer that choice D is the odd one. So the correct answer here is choice D, 12. Are you ready for more? Try this question to see how you would do. You're presented with 5 numbers: 2, 3, 5, 9, and 11. And you need to determine which number doesn't belong. After you've selected your answer, post it in comments and I'll share my feedback. Enjoy solving this cool problem. In this question, you're presented with the scenario, and you need to help a maintenance technician diagnose and resolve the issue with a robotic arm. A robotic arm equipped with a gripper is failing to consistently pick up lightweight items. Diagnostics reveal that pneumatic pressure frequently drops below required 2.5 bar during operation. What is the most likely cause for this issue? Your choices for the answers are: choice A, electrical signal interference; choice B, overheating of the robotic arm; choice C, leaking pneumatic lines; and choice D, misalignment of a gripper components. And just like on the actual test, we're setting a timer for you to solve it on the clock. Let's get started. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? I hope so, because in this situation, the solution is clear and very straightforward. As you might be well aware, the key to answer this question is to understand that pneumatic systems rely on maintaining consistent pressure to operate correctly. And consistent pressure is the key word here. This is why choice A, electric signal interference, is incorrect, because electrical interference impacts the control signals or communication, but does not directly affect pneumatic pressure. Choice B, overheating of the robotic arm, is also incorrect. Overheating can lead to general mechanical failures, but does not cause pneumatic pressure drops. And choice D, misalignment of gripper components, is also incorrect. Misalignment affects the gripping mechanism's ability to hold items, but does not influence the pneumatic pressure directly. What's important in this question is that a drop in pressure is a strong indicator of a leak in the pneumatic lines. allowing air to escape and reduce the force needed for a gripper to function effectively. Fixing leaks ensures that the system can maintain the required pressure. This is why the correct answer here is choice C, leaking pneumatic lines. Think of this question as a riddle hidden in the old, dusty book. Every clue you decipher gets you closer to revealing the final truth. Your curiosity and determination are the keys that open this mystery lock in this amazing question. You're presented with the shapes 1, 2, and 3, and the fourth shape is missing. Your goal is to decipher the pattern and determine your answer, which shape comes next, out of 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. Take a moment to review the problem just like you would in a real test. Be sure to lock in your answer before time runs out. I'll meet you on the other side and we'll review the solution together. Let's the magic begin. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? I'm pretty sure, being the smart individual as you are, you've detected the pattern. And there are actually 3 patterns here. Let's start with the first one, probably the simplest in this question. Take a close look at the diamonds. You see that the number of diamonds increases by 2 in every subsequent shape. Let's look at the example. First shape has 3 diamonds, second shape has 5 diamonds, and then the third shape has 7 diamonds, which means that the target shape will have 9 diamonds. Now let's look at the answer choices. This helps us eliminate choices A and C, but we still need to decide which choice is correct, B or D. Let's take a close look at the shaded rectangle, which is located at 5 o'clock in the first shape. To better understand the pattern, let's imagine the letter N in English alphabet. A shaded rectangular shape moves to form the letter N. It begins at 5 o'clock position, then it shifts to the 11 o'clock and then 1 o'clock positions, and finally reaches the 8 o'clock position in the target shape. The third pattern here is the pattern of the water drop shape, which is probably the most interesting. In fact, there are 2 types of water drop shapes. The first one has double lines, and then the second type, starting in shape 3, would be a single line water drop shape. If you look closely, you will see that the water drop shapes with double lines are positioned close together at 1 at 11 o'clock in shapes 1 and 2. Starting from shape 3, the sequence changes to single line shapes. The single line water drop shapes are then placed at the opposite corners at 8 o'clock and then at 5 o'clock. Based on this, we can easily conclude that the correct answer here is choice D. But wait, are you ready for more? Try this question to see how you would do. You're presented with the sequence of shapes. 3 shapes are present and the 4th shape is missing. You have 4 choices for your answer. Choices A, B, C, and D. Once you've determined the answer, share it in comments and I'll give you my feedback. Good luck with this exciting challenge. Not sure about you, but to me this question feels like running a marathon. The first few miles are the hardest, but with each step you build the stamina to keep going. Make sure you stay strong and you will cross the finish line. You need to find the percentage of the number. What is the 2% of 300? What is the 40% of 90? What is 25% of 160? And 50% of 48? Your choices for the answer are choices A, B, C, and D. Make sure you carefully review the question just like you would in a real test. And lock in your answer before time runs out. Once you're done, I'll join you on the other side and we'll go over the solution together. Remember, we're running the marathon. Ready, set, go. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? Remember, we need to stay strong so you can cross the finish line. And did I forget to mention that we're doing it without the calculator? Well, let me equip you with all the tools necessary for you to succeed. We'll solve each problem one by one, starting with the simplest one. What is 50% of 48? Wouldn't it be half of 48? And what is half of 48? It's 48 divided by 2, which could be calculated in your mind and would equal 24. The second simplest one is 20% of 160. Always remember that 25% is nothing else than the quarter of a number. And what is quarter of 160? It's as simple as 160 divided by 4. And the result is 40. Let's move on to the next one. What is 40% of 90? To solve this problem, we need to drop 0 from both numbers. 40 multiplied by 90, after dropping the zeros, would be 4 multiplied by 9 and would be equal 36. And then the last one is 2% of 300. We solve it exactly the same way as the previous one. We need to drop 2 zeros and multiply the numbers. 2 doesn't have any zeros, but 300 has 2 zeros. So 2 multiplied by 300 would be converted to 2 multiplied by 3 and would equal 6. Now let's recap. 2% of 300 is 6. 40% of 90 is 36. 25% of 160 is 40. And 50% of 48 is 24. And the correct answer here is choice D, 6, 36, 40, and 24. But wait, are you ready for more? Especially now when you know how to solve these types of challenges. Try this question to see how you would do. You need to find the percentage of the number. What is 2% of 200? What is 30% of 60? What is 25% of 100? And what is 50% of 36? Make sure to calculate your answer and select it from choices A, B, C, and D. Post it in comments so I'll give you my feedback. Good luck with this intriguing challenge. Let's challenge your problem-solving skills with this intriguing question. If storing 200 gigabytes of data in Amazon AWS costs $4, how much data can you store with $10? Your choices for the answers are choice A, 400 gigabytes, choice B, 500 gigabytes, choice C, 600 gigabytes, and choice D, 700 gigabytes. Just like with real assessment, focus on the question and choose your answer before time runs out. Once you're ready, we will reconnect on the other side to review it together. Let's go ahead and get started. Time's up. I hope you're ready, because the solution is simple, yet it requires careful thought. Let's tackle it together. Let me offer you 2 ways to solve this challenge, and you post in comments which way you like better. In the first approach, we will calculate it by using cost per 1 gigabyte. If cost for 200 gigabytes equals $4, it means that cost per 1 gigabyte would be 4 divided by 200 and would be 2 cents per gigabyte. Now let's calculate how much can we purchase for $10. 10 divided by 2 cents equals 500 gigabytes. But wait, what if you don't have a calculator handy? Or maybe you're trying to improve your mental math skills. Let's solve it by doing the calculations per 100 gigabytes. If cost for 200 gigabytes equals $4, it would mean that cost per 100 gigabytes would equal 4 divided by 2 and would equal $200 per 100 gigabytes. Which would mean that for $10 you can purchase 10 divided by 2 multiplied by 100 gigabytes would be equal 500 gigabytes. Which way did you like more? Make sure to post your answer in comments. And as you might have guessed, the answer for this question is choice B, 500 gigabytes. If you focused on boosting your cognitive and analytical capabilities, consider this question as something that might help you to improve. You're presented with unusually looking but very cool shape, and you need to determine how many squares are in this shape. Your choices for the answers are choice A, 16, choice B, 17, choice C, 15, and last but not least, choice D, 18. Well, I can probably hear your frustration, but please hear me out. Remember that delving into complex questions can sometimes be daunting. But what's important to know is that on your journey to enhance your cognitive and analytical skills, it's more than just quick solutions. It's all about cultivating the mindset geared toward lifelong learning. To help you stay focused and put things into perspective, consider the words of Albert Einstein, who once said, "The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know." This humble acknowledgement of the vastness of knowledge encourages us to remain curious and dedicated to continuous learning. And this continuous learning is essential for honing your analytical skills. If you are still struggling, take a moment to pause and reflect on the problem. We will revisit and discuss the solution together later, but remember, it's perfectly okay to take extra time or pause this video to thoroughly work through your thoughts. This approach will not only help you to tackle the immediate challenges, but also build a robust foundation for your future problem solving. Time's up. Are you ready to show your answer? I truly hope you finalized your solution and we can compare the answers. But don't worry if you don't have any solution yet. Keep working hard and consider every question you tackle as an investment in yourself. Right answers consolidate your knowledge, and the wrong ones build your resilience, teaching you how to navigate challenges, a crucial skill in any career. Let's start our analysis by realizing and confirming the fact that this shape consists of multiple layers of squares. You can see that there are large squares here as well as the smaller squares. With this in mind, let's decide how we're gonna count the squares. And let's make sure that we will adopt a methodical approach to count them. Let's start by counting the small squares. There are two types of small squares. Here they are, 1 and 2. And now let's count the large squares. And there are 4 types of large squares you see in this shape. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What's important on our journey is to ensure that squares are not counted twice or squares are not missed. Let me share with you another trick. Many geometrical questions involve symmetry or repeating patterns. Observing those can reduce the amount of counting needed to help you quickly identify similar sections in the shape. If you look at this particular shape, you will see that it's symmetrical in 4 dimensions. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Knowing this can help you build a methodology to count all the squares much faster. If you're curious and would like to learn and grow, make sure to do this and post your answer in comments so we can all learn as well. And now is the moment of truth. Let me show you all the squares that are inside of this shape. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So the correct answer here is choice D, 18. Without a doubt, to solve this question, we need to embrace the famous quote from Napoleon Hill. Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. So embrace the challenges presented by this question as opportunities for your personal and professional growth, knowing that perseverance is the pathway to success. You're presented with the Octagon. Octagon has 7 numbers inside, and the 8th number is missing. Starting from the 8 o'clock, the numbers are 51, 93, 72, 85, 16, 36, 25, and then comes the missing number, which you need to calculate and select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 9. Choice B, 39. Choice C, 49. And last but not least, choice D, 98. I know you can do it. Together, we'll navigate through these challenges and emerge stronger on the other side. Time's up. Are you ready to show your answer? And as you might have guessed, the pattern here is very simple. Starting at 8 o'clock, numbers on the opposite side of the octagon are subtractions of the digits squared from the opposite side. Let's look at the example. At 8 o'clock, we see the number 51. At 2 o'clock, we see the number 16. 5 minus 1 squared equals 16. Let's confirm our logic with other numbers. 9 minus 3 squared equals 36. 7 minus 2 squared equals 25. So the missing number is calculated as 8 minus 5 squared and equals 9. So the correct answer here is choice A, 9. You would have to agree that solving this particular problem is like baking a cake. It requires the right ingredients, a bit of precision, and the end result is pretty sweet. I think that looking at each test question this way would be like looking at baking a piece of mosaic of your knowledge, contributing to the bigger picture of your abilities. In this question, you're presented with the set of gears, and you need to determine the direction of the last gear. Your choices for answers are choice A, CW, choice B, CCW, choice C, no movement, and last but not least, choice D, depends on X. Feeling challenged by this question? I totally understand. Remember though, that you are not navigating this path alone. Whether you're a problem-solving expert or a newcomer, I have full faith in your capabilities. Take a moment to gather your thoughts, tap into your imaginative side, and let's triumph over this challenge together. Your solution is almost ready and is definitely within reach. Are you ready with your solution? I hope you are. So let's move forward and compare our versions of the answer. Together, we will unravel the complexities of this assessment test question. I'll ask you for a favor though, and specifically to share your thought process in comments. Your insights might hold the key for all of us to learn and improve. To solve this question, we need to identify which gear is the input, which one is connected to the power source, and which one is the output gear, the final gear that performs the desired task. In the next step, we need to identify the direction of rotation for each gear. Gears can rotate clockwise, this is where abbreviation CW comes from, or counterclockwise, this is what CCW stands for. Let's solve this challenge by following the transfer of rotation from one gear to another. Our first input gear is rotating in clockwise direction. As you might be well aware, when rotation is transferred to another gear, it will be rotated in the opposite direction, which would be counterclockwise. Let's follow the directions for each gear. Input 1 is clockwise, then counterclockwise, clockwise again, counterclockwise again, clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise, and the output gear is rotating in clockwise direction. Let me show you alternative way how you can solve it faster. For example, if the number of gears in between input and output is odd, the last gear will rotate in the same direction as input gear. On the other hand, if the number of gears is even, the last gear will rotate in the opposite direction from the first gear. Let's look at the example. Let's look at the odd number of gears. The simplest odd number is 1. The rotations transferred from input clockwise to the next gear counterclockwise and then to the output, which would be clockwise again. On the other hand, if there is an even number of gears in between input and output, and the smallest even number is 2, you see how rotation converges from input clockwise to the opposite to input counterclockwise at the output gear. With this in mind, let's solve this challenge alternative way. Let's count number of gears in between input and output. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gears. And since there are 7 gears in between input and output gears, which is odd number, the direction of output gear will be the same as the direction of the input gear. So the correct answer here is choice A, CW, clockwise. Let's face it, navigating this question is like convincing a cat to take a bath. A tricky endeavor, but once you soak in the solution, it's a clean success. This assessment might be measuring our ability to handle slippery math expressions. In fact, you're presented with 3 of those expressions. The first one is 23 multiplied by 23 equals 25. The second one is 25 multiplied by 25 equals 49. And the third one is where you need to find the missing number. The expression is 27 by 27, and the result of it you need to select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 64, choice B, 72, choice C, 76, and last but not least, choice D, 81. Feeling a bit stuck? Well, guess what? You're not alone. I feel exactly the same way. But I'm the firm believer that you've got this. Whether you're a seasoned problem solver or just starting out, I know you can do it. Take a deep breath, approach it with creativity, and let's navigate through this challenge together. Your breakthrough is just around the corner. Are you ready with your solution? Well, or at least excited about this mental workout. Did I warn you that this expression is slippery? In the typical world, 23 multiplied by 23 equals 529. But to solve this problem, we need to think out of the box. And instead of using traditional math, you need to sum up the digits and multiply the result of the sum operation. Let's look at the example. For example, 23 by 23 would be 2 plus 3 in parentheses, multiplied by 2 plus 3 would be 5 multiplied by 5, and the result of this would be 25. The second expression would be 2 plus 5 in parentheses, multiplied by 2 plus 5 in parentheses, would be equal 7 by 7 would be equal 49. So the missing number could be calculated as 2 plus 7 multiplied by 2 plus 7, which would be equal 9 multiplied by 9, or 9 squared, and would be equal to 81. So the correct answer here is choice D, 81. You need to identify the terms which are not associated with information technology. There are 7 terms here: cache, grommet, codec, solenoid, pallet, kernel, and phishing. And you have 4 choices that represent variations of these terms. Choices A, B, C, and D. Steady your mind, trust in your abilities, and let your determination guide you through. I have full confidence that you can do it. Time's up. Are you ready to show your answer? Let's start solving this question by eliminating terms that definitely sound like IT terms. Number 1, cache. Number 3, codec. Number 6, kernel. And number 7, phishing. 3 remaining terms are kinda questionable. Let's look at palette first. Palette is probably the most confusing term. It can be confused with palette, which is the range of colors or graphical software term. But in fact, pallet is a flat transport structure which is not an IT concept. What's interesting is that solenoid is also not an IT concept. It's a cylindrical coil of wire acting as a magnet when carrying electrical current used in mechanical applications. And grommet is a ring or edge strip inserted into the hole through thin material, typically used in textiles. So, as you figured, grommet also has nothing to do with information technology. If you read the original question carefully, you will see that we need to identify terms not related to IT. So the choices not related to IT are grommet, solenoid, and pallet. And the correct answer here is choice B, 2, 4, and 5. But wait, are you ready to practice your skills? Try this question to see how you would do. A conveyor belt in an automated sorting system is experiencing intermittent slowdowns and occasional halts. Diagnostics show that the motor driving the belt is frequently overheating and shutting down. What is the most likely cause for this issue? Your choices for the answers are: choice A, worn out motor bearings; choice B, electrical signal interference; choice C, conveyor belt misalignment; and choice D, insufficient lubrication of the motor. Once you're confident in your answer, share it in comments and I'll provide my feedback. Best of luck with this exciting and intriguing question. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you for helping us to become one of the largest YouTube channels to help people become smarter, increase your IQ, and to pass any test. If the content of this video was helpful, please make sure to click the like button to help YouTube algorithm promote this video and help other people to find it faster. Giving us a like is also a way for you to tell us that you need more content like this, and when you tell us, we will deliver it for you in the future. For links to free and premium resources, please check the description and comments of this video. You can also go directly to our website, howtoanalyzedata.net, to download the materials related to this topic. I really appreciate your endorsement, support, and patronage of this channel. And thank you for considering to become a member and considering to subscribe. Please leave feedback, suggestions, or corrections in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.